disappointed and was like, yeah, fuck it, good enough.
Whatever works. However it gets there.
Yeah. Granted, I don't really pirate that much stuff. Like, I used to pirate everything when I was young, but now I just
I don't really either, but this whole these streaming services, it's getting ridiculous.
I will admit that the number of streaming services right now is fucking stupid.
Like, they spent more time developing ways to not download 4K discs onto your computer than actually making the 4K disc itself.
Yeah. Also,
granted, the pirates beat it in like 5 minutes, but still.
But
I have the greatest article ever for you, Philip.
Oh?
Literally what I've been saying to you since the whole Epic Games Store thing started. The Epic Games guy came out and said that they'll stop doing exclusive if Steam matches their developer cut.
No. Oh my god.
If stream what?
Yep. The guy who owns Epic, or the CEO, I don't really know. I think he's partial owner. He came out and was like, we'll stop doing exclusives, like we'll stop buying exclusive rights if Steam matches their cut for developers.
Yeah. Which is kind of low, I think.
Which is below the industry standard.
It definitely is.
Which was originally created for apps by Google and Apple.
Is that what it was?
I mean, they're the ones who pretty
or
much...
I thought that was the brick and mortar rate.
No, I
right?
I think publishers on like books and stuff is actually higher than that, like considerably higher.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the 30% was when like digital took off. People were like, "Hey, you can use our platform, but we're gonna take 30%."
I think 30% was Apple.
I'm pretty sure 30% was
I think
Apple.
the Apple Store started the 30% thing.
Yeah, and I'm 100%.
I mean, that may be true.
Well, I mean, one of them did. It was.
If I'm not mistaken, for digital stuff was like through the roof. I actually think it was the industry high at the time. It's now become like the standard low.
Yeah, well, I mean, once the Play Store adopted it too, it was kind of like, it just becomes the de facto amount because those two things account for so much fucking revenue.
Well, yeah, that was the big thing.
Yeah. But in all fairness, the Epic Store was like, hey, we'll stop doing this if you start paying developers.
Yeah, but let's be honest, that's
but
zero intentions out there.
Huh?
Zero intentions behind that statement.
I mean,
like Epic
It
has
kind of
shown
sounds
nothing
like
but
Epic is being
profiteering.
a big bully.
I mean,
right
it
now.
kind of sounds like capitalism. It's literally. I mean, it's
they
Epic
want
saying,
it to be, but I guarantee you, if Steam would have reduced your rate, Epic's not going to change anything. They haven't shown.
I would bet they do, only because they don't care. The thing is, everyone thinks Epic's Game Store matters, but it doesn't. Like, Epic's super fucking rich, even if the Game Store went bankrupt.
Yeah, but what really matters is if anyone buys the games or not.
Yeah, which is fair, but did you look at the sales figures?
No, I haven't, but I heard they were good.
Yeah, Borderlands 3 has like a fucking retarded amount
I don't remember the
pre-orders.
controls.
You just throw your car body into the soccer ball.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to push my teammate into the ball.
Yeah, that
so
was
they
me,
score.
God.
Good job.
Yeah.
You
But
What
yeah,
is
did it.
boost?
It's B for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
B is boost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the sales figures are really good. Like, good enough that Epic has leverage now. Which is why they're doing it now. Because they have actual sales leverage to be like, hey, you should do this thing.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, like, if it was available on Steam. Like, if it was available on both platforms, clearly it would have more
people on Steam. Yeah, but that's Epic. So that's why I said capitalism before, because Epic realizes
the problem is exclusives aren't competitive capitalism.
I mean, they kind of are. It's Epic saying we have more money than you.
To a point.
I mean,
but
Steam could.
The
buy
problem
exclusive.
is like
they
exclusives are worked out like in a lot of different ways.
I can't believe.
And the thing is, so here's the thing: what is the best platform to play Fortnite on?
There's PC.
I mean, yeah, PC, I guess.
Well, on PC.
I mean, it's only on
Epic.
Epic.
Well, that's the thing. So where is the competition side? Like, what's...
Epic developed Fortnite.
Well, that's what I mean, but you, like...
Oh, but Todd's saying there's no...
yeah, well, if a game's only on one thing...
I mean, Valve
it's not competed between different...
Well, you got Apex Legends. I think that counts as competition. Any battle
like
royale
it's the same thing
format.
That's kind of killing the film streaming services. It's not whether Netflix or Hulu is better, it's what one has to show you want. And it doesn't really matter if...
Why did you jump over the...
I figured someone would hit the ball. Okay. But you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to buy HBO Go, you're going to buy it because of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, not because it's the better
Not because of pricing,
service.
not because of UI, not because of anything. You're going to buy it solely because of that product.
That's fair, but then
Netflix has the best UI.
But I don't see what your gripe is with exclusives then.
But it's not really... It is competition, but I don't think it's best for the industry. Like...
I don't think Steam would have ever changed. Look at it this way. You know what caused Steam to implement a fucking chat UI overhaul? It wasn't the goodness of their hearts, it was Discord. Like, look at
They had a chat before Discord, right?
Yeah, but they didn't have real time, like, they didn't have a decent
Discord's
chat UI.
great. Like, I 100% believe Discord's great, because it is a direct competition to Steam's chat, which honestly...
was bad.
And no one used it because no one... Like, Discord made the market, but Steam was competitive. Like, that's competition. Like, that is... Because right now we could have this exact same thing on Steam.
But we're not.
But we're not because Discord's better.
Yep.
Well, they've got their focus. It's like... I know they have a store now, but their primary thing is like... Let's get gamers...
That's their focus. They got a niche market.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
But,
no one threw a shit fit over Discord store. People only threw a shit fit over Epic Store because Epic
a lot of people complained about Discord store. I complained about Discord store.
But not the same way. People didn't throw a shit fit because Discord bought
exclusives.
Well,
no, because they don't have that many exclusives.
But Discord have any exclusives?
No. But I'm saying people only care. Like, people are only pissed about Epic because Epic was like, we're gonna force Steam to acknowledge this. Like, Discord was like, we're gonna passively force Steam to acknowledge it by just being...
They're gonna passively force users to use their platform.
Yeah.
Whether you want to use it or not, because of the game.
For a period of time. If you want to wait 6 months, you can have it on Steam.
Okay, that's one game.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, it's... Steam would have... Look at it this way. Do you think Steam would have ever changed their policies without Epic? Be honest.
No, but would it have been different if Epic just went straight head-to-head with them and said, hey, our system's better?
No, because they would have lost. They would have lost to inertia.
Well, they're still going to lose.
They're not... I would bet you...
I think Fortnite makes too much money. It doesn't matter how good they do.
They're going to win maybe profit-wise with Fortnite, but as far as a game store goes, it's a hurdle.
Todd, I'll bet you in 5 years, Epic is the primary game store. Because, do you know what their finances are? Okay, look at it this way. They have Fortnite, which they own, right?
Sure.
Okay. They own the Unreal Engine, so they get all those royalties from all those AAAs using Unreal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And their fucking owner company, the major investor in Epic, is Tencent. It's fucking Tencent. Tencent is a $180 billion company. They have unlimited money.
I'm sorry, who's Tencent?
It's a gigantic multinational Chinese game company.
Oh.
They own
Oh.
They own a 40% stake in Epic, and I can tell you this, they gave Riot, when they bought a 40% stake in Riot, they gave them like $30 billion to play with. So it's not like, I don't want to sound like a dick, but it's not even close. Like, Valve has a tenth of the money that Epic has. Maybe. People don't realize that, like, Epic isn't just a game studio. It's...
Well, I know they're rich. Like, that's never been a
Oh,
thing.
yeah. And I know they're more than a game studio.
Yeah, but, like, they have enough money that they could force Steam's hand. And that's what they're gonna do. That's what that statement is.
I mean, they can. But the thing is, like...
Will Steam respond?
Yeah, but as soon as they force Steam's hand, you know what happens? Steam's position in the marketplace goes to shit. Because their revenue drops to 2/3.
I don't know if they will force Steam's hand, because I don't know if Steam really cares enough.
Maybe not yet, but they will in 2 years. They will when Epic buys every AAA exclusive for the first 6 months. Like,
Yeah,
what
but
happens...
Steam never really got AAA exclusive to begin with.
No, but Steam was the only game in town, so they didn't have to have AAA exclusives.
But they were normally, you didn't get them at all.
Steam gets every AAA title.
No, I mean...
Every
Not Black
AAA.
Ops.
Okay.
Not the Call of
Every
Duty is the biggest
AAA.
franchise
Not
out
Destiny
there.
2. Not
Okay,
Overwatch.
That's all.
Destiny,
Activision.
Overwatch, I mean, all the Halos are on the
Literally.
Microsoft Store up until
Just-
now.
Well, no, they're going to be on Steam.
They're gonna be on Steam.
Which
But
I
you know what I mean?
can't
Like, pretty
believe
much
it.
all the major game franchises are not on Steam.
No, but almost all of them are though. Like, only Activision isn't. All those games you named are from Blizzard Activision.
Vision.
Oh, Overwatch, Call of Duty, all of them, all owned by Activision.
Yeah.
Because Blizzard is a subsidiary of Activision.
Yes, and they have their own launcher, which
Their own
everyone
launcher.
hates.
Yeah. Right. But I'm saying, like, Nier Automata, or like the new whatever the fuck that Die Twice game is that was gigantic, or like Dark Souls type games. Epic's gonna buy exclusive rights to all those games. That's the problem. Like, so Steam has two choices. You can either meet the developer thing, where you can try, say Steam meets it and Epic pulls out of the agreement, I don't think Epic ever recovers from that. Like, I don't think you can recover from that choice. Because...
To pull out of the agreement?
Well, for Steam to match their developer cut, and then for Epic to be like, oh yeah, just kidding, we're going to continue to buy exclusives anyway.
Well, they seem like they might.
See, I don't think Epic's a bad company. I just think they're bad in the context that people like Steam.
I mean, they don't have the world's best track record.
I mean, no.
I mean, Fortnite is pretty much every good thing ever invented put together. Like, what they actually made on Fortnite is kind of small.
Yeah, but I mean...
It's the engine they already had, and then they kind of just, like, took everything else from everything.
Yeah, but
Not saying Fortnite's a bad game or taking anything away from them, but that's not really the best way to develop stuff.
No, but in all fairness, they created Unreal, so it's not like they used some third-party tech. They in-house created that engine.
Yeah, like the engine is theirs, but that's been theirs for forever.
Yeah, it's been theirs since Unreal Tournament.
That's been like the little baby.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's how Epic got rich. Like,
yeah,
Epic got rich because they're making 5% royalties on fucking giant AAA games that are running Unreal under the hood. So, like, you know, when fucking X AAA title sells 10 million copies, Epic sits there and is like, lol, give us our 5%.
Free money.
Yeah. Like, but, like, that's the thing. You know, that revenue stream alone is probably close to what Steam makes, I would guess. Like, between Fortnite and Unreal, I would guess that's more than what Steam makes in a year.
Well, definitely with Fortnite in there.
Yeah,
I don't really know how popular the Unreal Engine really is anymore.
I mean, it's used by...
I know you see it a lot, but not really on the big games anymore.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, I mean, you know what I mean, though? Like, it used to be on everything. Like, everything was Unreal.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple engines that were developed in-house, like, you know,
probably
DICE.
more smaller studios. I feel like...
There's a lot of smaller stuff.
The big guys have their own engines.
Everyone's kind of gone their own way.
Yeah, I mean, DICE has, like, Frostbite.
Yeah, you got Frostbite, I mean...
But I'm pretty sure a bunch of AAA still use it. Like, I'm pretty sure Dark Souls, all of those games were Unreal. I don't know, actually. I'm kind of curious to see what's...
Yeah, like I said, I know, like, the major ones have gotten away from it, but I don't really... I mean, I'm sure it's big. I'm sure it's substantial.
Yeah.
We would be much happy making the income they make from Unreal.
I mean, the ones that I can see on this one is, like, Borderlands 3, Batman Arkham Asylum, the XCOM series, the Bioshock series, the Mass Effect series.
Yeah, well, most of them are dead series.
Yeah,
Not counting Borderlands, obviously.
Well, Borderlands 3's using it?
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe they had a deal with Epic for a long time then already.
You know, that would actually be smart for Epic to do. For what they're going for. Say, use Unreal, we'll give you a discount, but you have to be exclusive to us.
They did do that. That's pretty much exactly the deal they offered.
At least it's only for 6 months and not like forever. That would kind of blow.
Well, I mean, Epic said that they could have done a forever deal, but they didn't. Like, they don't want people not to be able to play it. They just want people to, like, try their store. Which, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I would back Steam 100% if they would just cut their developer cut. So, like, when Epic said that, I was like, perfect. Just let Steam cut their developer cut, and I can go back to being a Steam person.
But
all those indie
like...
games, where did you buy them, Ronnie?
Oh, I mean, I bought most of them.
Yeah, like,
just...
is the developer cut thing an issue, though?
But that's because they're only there.
Okay.
What's up, Todd?
Like, is the developer thing an issue, though?
Yes. Why should Steam take 30%?
But are developers crying about it? That's the thing. Like,
yes, they are.
But
especially indie developers. Because the problem is this. Steam came out and we're like, hey, look at these cool discounts we'll give you. But we're only going to give it to you if you're a studio that makes $10 million. So every indie developer was like, well, what the fuck? Why are you giving giant studios this developer cut discount, but not like the 3-man team who made Cuphead?
well, that's like the discount thing. Yeah, that's true. But like, they're also giving all the indie studios, you know, the servers to use, the platform to sell their thing, the marketing, the gateways.
They don't market.
They offer a lot.
I mean,
Not the purchases.
Yeah, I mean, they offer a purchase platform.
And honestly, they kind of do market. I mean,
not unless you're in the top, like, 50 games.
I don't know, I see a lot of indie games in my storefront.
Yeah, the top indie games. But I'm saying, like, in a given year, I would say there's probably, like, 500 indie games released to Steam. You probably only see 40 of them.
Well, yeah, you're not going to see them all. That's more than a game a day.
Well, right. But
Only log into Steam in a game a day.
But I'm saying, like, Steam's not actively providing a marketing service. Steam's just providing a storefront that
they do offer a lot.
I mean, true, but
I mean, if you think compared to like what you know, Apple and Google offer apps. Steam's offering a lot more.
Okay, but why wouldn't you release on Epic if they were like, we'll offer you the same stuff for less money?
Because it's a crappier system.
But it's not a crappier system.
Have you used the interfaces?
I have. It's actually way more modern than Steam's.
Yeah,
It's kind of
it
like
looks modern,
the
but it
poo
is
approach.
actually
It's hard to
usable.
use. Like I mean, like I know like people bash on Steam for how basic everything is, but
yeah, but
lists,
it works.
when you have a 500 game library is kind of nice.
Also, Todd, you have to remember, Steam's had what? 15 years? Right? 15 years
Yeah.
to develop the fucking UI that they're using? It hasn't changed.
If
like,
it's
I mean,
not
I agree
broke,
with it.
don't
They
fi-
should have did little
Look,
thing, but it
there-
is pretty good.
There is a grid view if you want like that.
Yeah.
It looks just like Epic.
Cut the developer cut.
Like
and
to be
I'll
honest
buy
with you,
every
I don't like
game.
Epic's UI at all.
See,
I do agree Steam should have upgrades in the process, but I don't think anything Epic's doing is the way to go.
I mean, also, Epic doesn't have to really worry about the 500 game library because they don't have that library.
That's true, but
Yeah, but
one
they
day
need
they
to
will,
plan
and then
about
their
it.
UI's not going to work.
I mean, maybe, but I'm pretty confident in Epic being able to update their UI.
Where Steam works for, you know, 1 game libraries or 1,000 game libraries.
True. Like
And
I'm saying,
absolutely, could be better.
right, but what I'm saying is, like, if you're worried about the UI, I don't think Epic would have any issue adjusting their UI. Like,
I don't know, like, right now I have like 3 categories going on with my games, so I can easily like, oh, I've got all the Friday night games in one thing. I got my backlog, and then I
got like 7 categories. I love
Yeah.
I just have
categories.
mine in alphabetical order.
That's dumb.
I mean, I can navigate my 260 game library in about 2 seconds. So if all Epic has to do to match Steam's interface is fucking make things alphabetical, I'm pretty sure they can manage.
What about an overlay that has frames per second counter? Like, that's
Why
something
does that matter?
because that's just something I like.
I mean,
yeah, the Steam overlay is very nice.
yeah, but
I don't really know what Epic offers in that department, but
I don't actually. I mean, the overlay for interacting with friends on Steam is nice. Agreed. It's not as nice as Discord's overlay.
I don't use
I honestly haven't
Discord's
played with
overlay.
Discords too much.
You should play with it because it's super
The
fun.
problem is, you can't invite me from Discord.
You can.
On some games, you can. They have to develop for it, though. They have to
Yeah.
add it in.
Oh, well, there you go. But I mean, like, as a standard.
No.
I said this last time.
So
this
it
came
kind
up.
of defeat, like, I like Discord's, like, chat overlay to see who's talking. Which, actually, for some reason, is not working right now.
Yeah, I like the overlay too to see who's talking. My thing is,
But it's not very useful otherwise, because...
Also, I have a second monitor, so I don't need the overlay. I just have Discord on the other monitor always.
yeah, I usually just stream on the monitor, but I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I don't
if you
think-
have one monitor set up, then overlay is, like,
Important.
invaluable.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I know your voices, like...
Right, but if you were playing
Every
with
time
some
you talk, you
rando,
don't sit there like, oh, who's that? Someone in the chat.
Who the hell was that?
yeah. But it's
Speak
like,
your name.
You know, Discord overlay
yeah.
is perfect for like playing League in a random lobby with like the
Yeah,
people
in
you happen
random
to get matched
lobbies, or
with.
if we had the 50 people in here for some reason.
Yeah.
That would be nuts. I would not enjoy that.
Although we'd probably murder each other, because that would not go well.
No. Realistically, voice chat only works up to a certain point. Like, once you get over like, actually, I'd say once you get over 10 people, it gets real unwieldy.
Yeah.
Well, then it becomes like, oh, you have a speaker and then you have an audience at that point.
Yeah.
Well,
they-
yeah, that's like when I played
that
EVE
might change
online,
hands.
and we had like 50-player lobbies. That's what we did. You just had, you spoke.
Yeah, and everyone just sat there and waited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. like I said, I like
My big thing is like I'm all for, you know,
I'm just for competition.
competition for Steam, but I don't think the exclusive thing is competition.
I mean,
I think we're griping because we have so much money invested into something already, and we just want the choice. Like,
Well,
if people
I don't
want to
even care-
support the developer more, then buy from this store. If you want like this store, then buy the game from this store. It's just like you have this problem on the digital front where like your brick and mortar is like, if you don't like GameStop, buy the game at Best Buy or Walmart or whatever. Like there
like my
isn't
thing
like,
is like
oh, the
I
new
don't
Assassin's
really
Creed game
mind
is Best Buy
launches.
exclusive or something. Like that's not a thing.
No, it isn't. But also, it's impossible. You can't outcompete Steam if you don't change the game. Like,
Well,
it's kind of like if fucking Amazon would have tried to outcompete Walmart by being Walmart. Like, if Epic came along and was like, we're Steam, except we pay the developer more and we have a smaller library, they would never get sales. Because there's no reason. Like,
I mean, I get like the necessary evil there, but I'm just saying also like this is why we're griping.
but the
Yeah.
problem is like the way I look at it, it doesn't improve like innovation, exclusives.
if it forces Steam to change their developer cut, it does.
The only thing exclusive is going to force them to change
dude, we would've
is getting
scored
other
again.
exclusives.
That's true, but
Like like I said, look at the film side. Those UIs are terrible. And you know
Yeah.
why? Because nobody cares.
well, because if you want to watch it, you have to go there anyway.
Yeah, just like gaming industry. If you want to play Fortnite, you got to go to Epic. If you want to play Rocket League, you got to go to Steam. And does it matter what one's better or more innovative or has the most features? No.
True, but
I mean, look at the Blizzard launcher. It's probably one of the most popular launchers out there because it has the most popular games. And it's terrible. It's literally hit the play button and give us money.
it is actually a terrible.
But it's probably like the number 2 or even number 1 launcher used right now
Yeah,
because the game's on it.
Yeah, WoW and
So
stuff.
is that intervention? I don't think so.
No, I mean, granted.
Nor is it going to inspire intervention in themselves or anyone else because they're the most popular.
But Battle.net was good before Activision bought them. Battle.net, when WoW first came out, was actually, like, really good for the time. It's just like Activision bought them and were like, yeah, you remember all those cool features? Well, they're the same as they were from 1998.
Well, yeah, that is true.
Like, when
But-
Blizzard
but-
owned...
System requirements, Windows 95.
Yeah, like when Blizzard owned Blizzard, you know what I mean? Like back when Blizzard was its own entity, fucking Battle.net was cool. Like I remember launching WoW from Battle.net.
It was ahead of its time, really. Like it
Yeah.
was like.
It was ahead of its time. But then Activision.
But the thing
bought
is,
Blizzard.
nothing has really changed,
Well, that's
and it
right.
works solely because of exclusives.
That's true.
And
That's
that's
true.
why I don't like this exclusive market because that's exactly what Steam and Epic. Like Epic will probably never change.
I mean, it's
Let's be
possible.
honest. They're probably never going to change that storefront. And they might beat out Steam, but it's going to be because of exclusives. And if Steam's going to beat them back, their best bet is to literally not invest money in changing and invest it into exclusives.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. But the thing is, I don't think Steam can do that. Like, I think with like... So here's the way I look at it. The reason that exclusives, quote-unquote, work in film is because studios own the rights to those things. So it's very
Wait, exclusives, for a lot of reasons, you know, it helps to have friends.
Well, it
Epic
helps
automatically has friends because they have the engine.
Well, right. So what I'm saying is like this. Look at it like this. Exclusives, the Battle.net exclusives, the reason that works is because Blizzard developed in-house every game on that launcher. Blizzard or Activision, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason that film exclusives work is because those film houses develop those shows in-house. They own the rights to those shows, so they can pull them from anything they want. The thing is, Valve doesn't develop games. They haven't developed a new game since Dota 2. Like, and Dota 2 was a flop compared to the first one. So, either Valve gets back into development, which would be cool, because like think about Half-Life 3 or the other cool things that Valve owns the intellectual property rights to.
Portal.
Well, yeah, I mean,
right, but like if Valve's not willing to get back into development, they're gonna have a hell of a time getting exclusives.
well, that's the thing. They don't have the only thing Valve has going for exclusives. They have the biggest market.
Right, they have the inertia of the market.
And that way there they can say, hey, you come to us, you'll get the most sales.
Yep.
But honestly, I don't think that's a big thing anymore. Like, exclusives are just a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, also, I think the way that Epic is getting a lot of exclusives, honestly, is they're saying, look at it this way. If you sell 20% less copies, you still make more money on Epic's thing.
But then it's more about making money and not getting your product to as possible.
Or what you do as a developer, you put it on every platform. So you get the most market and the benefit of both.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but every sale you make on Steam, you lose 20% of what you would have got on the same sale on Epic.
But I wonder how many of those sales would be people that would have bought it on Steam. If they had the choice.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like, a lot of them.
See, that's the thing.
Then if it doesn't matter, it should be on Steam.
Well, no, I'm saying it doesn't matter because the developer doesn't care if you want to buy it on Steam. They care that they get that 20% to develop their next game with.
Then it's about the money and not...
Video games are all about the money.
Well, yeah, but...
It's about the money, and Epic has them kind of tied down because they're the only one offering the money.
Yeah.
And the one with the engine. But, like, the numbers do not support what's happening.
But what is your guys' gripe with Steam just changing the developer cut? I don't understand. Like,
I mean, that's fine. That's 100. I have no issue against that.
Like, if everyone's like, "Hey, we want it on Steam. We want this on Steam," then why is everyone against Steam just cutting their developer cut to match Epic?
I'm not against it.
Okay, because. Like whenever people make this,
it's not like I'm arguing. Oh, I think it should be 30%. That's final kind of thing.
Right, you're saying that's normal.
I'm just saying, yeah, it's always just been that way.
That's true, but that's like maybe that was wrong. Like
I don't know, like. You know, maybe it was not far off, or maybe it was just enough to keep up the maintenance and everything.
That's the thing. Like, Epic's the worst one to define this, because they say we're only going to take 20%, but then they charge 10% for their engine and 20% for the launcher.
Nope.
That's still 30%.
If you run Unreal underneath and you launch on Epic, they waive the royalty.
But that's the thing, but that's not helping the indie developer. That's helping their developers, basically.
Yeah, but they're saying if you use our engine and you want to launch a platform, we're not going to take that 5% from you. Like, we're going to reward you for using our platform and say, here's that 5% back. So if you're using an Unreal Engine in your game, like, that's essentially Epic. They're not forcing you to launch it on their thing. They're saying, do you want that 5% back? Like, I don't have a problem with that. That's just them being like, hey, here's a perk if you launch on our store because you used our engine. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
I mean, I don't. Oh my god, I don't understand. So like, they didn't force you to use Unreal. You chose to use it. And then they were pretty much like, hey, because you use our engine, if you use the store, we'll waive the 5% royalty.
Yeah.
And they're like, but if you launch on Steam, you pay the 5% royalty because we don't get a cut out of the sale.
So what do they do if it's on both stores?
They take a cut of any sales made on Steam. They're essentially saying, if you make a sale on our platform, we'll waive the royalty fee for that sale.
I mean, they're pretty much just trying to monopolize their own product.
I mean, yeah, but you should try to monopolize your own product.
But none of this is getting to how it's going to innovate the market.
What? Okay, I'm just curious now. What's Rocket League's engine?
Hello, guys.
I think it actually might be Unreal.
It's Unreal.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh wow.
So there's big games recently that use Unreal. A lot of them. There's a lot of big games.
Good at Rocket League to join you guys?
Huh?
No.
Rocket League to join you guys?
No,
No.
we're just bullshitting. But you're super quiet.
Yeah, we're currently having an argument over the Steam Epic Store dilemma.
Yeah, and
Oh,
you gotta buy a better mic if you want to argue with us.
Dude, if you want to see the Steam Epic dilemma, let me show you a quick picture that I found in this very chat.
I hope it's not that Cyanide and Happiness comic. I'm tired.
But like,
Oh, I posted that
I know,
millennia ago.
dude. Why
but-
did you delete that Side 9 Happiness comic? I don't understand.
Just to fuck with you.
but like.
Also,
this is
it
a
was
good
in the
example.
wrong channel. Mainly.
We're playing a game made with their engine right now.
Okay, I just have
Let's
to
veto this
cards
game.
on the nerds. But like, I don't understand why you think that it's such a bad idea to post that comic. I'm dealing with this in a healthy way. I went to the gym, dude.
Oh, I thought you were. Quit talking about your girlfriend. I'm not done talking about Epic and Steam.
I don't have a girlfriend.
Whoever your ex-lady friend,
Oh my god.
ex-communicado lady.
That
I have
person-
to admit, Philip, that I enjoy arguing the Steam Epic dilemma with you. It's a good time.
It is, yeah. I think we needed a Friday like this for sure. So,
Okay, well, how do I join you?
well, this game will have to be over first, and then I can send you an invite.
I can join your party. Let's see. Fail to join friends. Game server is full.
Oh, Philip, I actually meant to ask you, how is
What the fuck is that?
Is that you, Todd?
That was me.
Yeah. Philip.
Jesus Christ.
Are you? How's everything going with you, Philip? I haven't talked to you in a little while. Like with Kate.
Oh yeah. So, objectively, things are really bad.
Okay.
Actually, now all of a sudden.
Like recently?
Yeah, and within the last 2 weeks.
I mean, you don't have to talk about it here. Like I don't know if you care or not.
I mean, no, maybe. I don't know.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I just meant to ask.
Oh,
I do want to talk to you about it, and one other thing that was
Okay.
upsetting me later or earlier,
Wait.
but not about girlfriends, but about business practices.
Business practices?
Yeah.
Oh, this will not go well.
Okay. I mean, I'm assuming business
So-
practices is open game for like a forum, right?
Yeah. So which one do you want to talk about first?
The business practices.
So I was really peeved at my dad. You know, he's got like really
Stuff going on.
fucked up health problems right now. And so like I've been stepping up and basically doing his job and my job.
Okay.
And
Kind of like taking the reins type thing.
yeah.
Okay.
And also doing my stuff too, which you know, I didn't get home until 7:45 evening.
Right. So like you're doing a worker and a manager job at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like if you were managing and then all of a sudden like all your shift workers just fucking went on strike or something.
Okay.
So he was like, you know, basically saying you should stop complaining because, you know, when I was starting this business, I had to do it all too. And I was like, yeah, you know, I have two problems with that. One, we don't have, you probably weren't, no, you definitely weren't doing the size of the jobs we have
Right.
now. And 2, my biggest problem was
He chose it.
why have you set up the business this way?
Okay.
Like I'm thinking like, yeah, okay, control's good. You want to know what's going on, and like,
But you don't want to be actively involved at a certain
yeah,
point.
it's like, okay, but also if I want to take a trip, I want to also feel confident in my workers and be like, oh, well, you know, they really have things under control, and if something is so bad that they don't know what to do and they need a final decision made, like, I can be reached, they can inform me of what's going on, I can make a call.
Right. So you're saying like at a certain point you're better off to distance yourself from the day-to-day of the business and take over like a more overview type, like
Yeah.
you're there for like issues, but you're not going to deal with minutia anymore.
Basically.
Okay.
And I'm like, and he's like, okay, so I've had it for 40 years, and I was like, well, that's, you know, that's great, and you know, it's cool that we're still small because the level of customer service
is good.
that we can provide is, it's going to be better than anybody in town. I mean, that's undisputed for the most part.
Yeah.
I still have some problems with like some of the family members that work with us because I feel like we're like a C team. Like, I feel like you gotta check just a little bit in on them even, and I really don't want to. You know,
Okay.
like I want to somehow encourage the performance of like, if something happens, take care of it right then and there. Don't, you know, especially
Right.
if I call, because if I'm calling about something, it's because it needs to get taken care of, and I am not in a position to write it down because I'm in an attic.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I granted, I don't own a business or haven't, but I've from
Yeah,
every
but yeah, theoretically, like I think
you're supposed to distance yourself at a certain point because not only does it good for your sanity, which it absolutely is good for your sanity in the long term, but
Sure.
it's very hard to grow past a certain point if you never have the opportunity to distance yourself enough to see the bigger picture. Like, if you're always in the day-to-day work, you can see, like, you know, the next job or the next 2 jobs, but you can't see the opportunity to like buy out another security installation company 2 towns over because they're struggling, and like you could take over a new market because you just don't, you know, you can't spread yourself in 2 places.
But did he
Yep.
want to grow that way?
Well,
No.
that's true too.
he
A
chose
lot of
it.
people just like doing their own thing, working for themselves, and that's
That's fine too.
Yeah,
I
I mean, I want to like what my
you
dad
want
was
to
doing. It was like a part-time job. Lately, though, there's been some jobs where it's like government, and like you need to read this 20-page pamphlet and make sure you are speccing the system to their requirements and make sure it gets all in there. So
the
it was
question
really
is,
stressful at first.
if you were
Yes.
to take over, do you want to grow it to something that it's not right now?
For
Like,
what
so-
I want, it would have to grow at least 2.5 times what it is now
To provide you with freedom. That's what you want.
to provide me with enough leeway that I can focus on stuff like the website, graphic design, or anything else I'm interested in that I think could be improved.
And you
Okay.
know, I actually see that a lot where, you know, a parent will start a business, do it so that they work for themselves basically, and then a kid
The
will
kid
take
wants
over and will basically go, you know what, this can grow, or they want to be a manager, and whether or not it works out, that's generally how a lot of the small businesses really take off, is the kid.
Yeah, because the parent doesn't have that vision when they start it.
Yeah, the parent is the skilled worker who started the business and just wanted to do his thing for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have so much experience in the field now that I am also the skilled worker.
Yeah, you
like,
grew up in the small business. And I'm not saying you don't have the skilled business, but that's what he wanted to do.
Right, he wanted to actually install alarms.
Like, yeah, he wanted to install alarm. He just wanted to do it for himself.
Whereas you want to own a security installation business. There's a difference. There's a difference between wanting to install alarms and provide for yourself and not work for someone else, and wanting to run and own that business.
Yeah, basically you're an independent contractor.
Yeah,
which is still a business, but it's a whole different philosophy. Is you're running your own business, your own name, your nice everything, but you just want to do the work and be in control of yourself.
Yeah.
And then you get in there and go, wow, he did a really good job with this stuff. I know what I'm doing, and now we're going to make it a business.
Because I'm just going by what I know from, like, talking to you for the last decade. Yeah. I'm assuming what you want is similar to what I want, which is you want something that you can run in a way that's not hands-on 100% of the time, where you can live your life without feeling like every minute of your day is tied into your business.
Yeah. I want enough good, like, excellent A-team people that I can trust 100% and not be worried about, oh, are they putting up hooks and running the wire neatly and shit like that. And be like, oh, wow, so those guys I know are doing a great job. Let me focus on what they need. Is the truck serving them well enough? Do they need a better service vehicle? Does, like, are they doing well? Like, do we need to provide more tools? What's missing? What, shit like that. Like, I'm interested in at this point.
But again, it really comes down to what Todd said. You're interested in the business of security installation, like providing tools and marketing and websites and making sure your like service vehicles are up and running. That's not installation anymore. That's business. That's running a business. So you I don't want to say you never want to install security systems again. But
hell yeah, no. And if I'm needed, in fact, I still think it's kind of cool to have the on job site presence, at least when you're, there for the first time quoting a job.
And I mean,
honestly,
I'm a firm believer
and at the end
that the guys in charge need to be in the field somewhere along the line.
I agree.
To see what the business is doing.
There's the big building contractors we work for. Those head guys are out there.
Well, that's when you were describing this, that's what I was picturing. Like, when you described what you wanted, you sounded like you want to run 3 construction crews. Like, you want to be the guy who's running 3 separate jobs, and he hired people he can trust, and he's checking in on the jobs. He's not doing the jobs anymore. He's checking in and making sure people have the things they need to succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like right now everyone is trapped. This was the other thing my dad was saying. He's like, he was like, I worked so many years and still didn't get a vacation. Like he's crying about someone wanting to take a week off or something, and that's crippling because we don't have the manpower. See,
but that's a lot of business.
We have one more tech, me and one other guy, and he's getting to be almost 60 now. Like we are set up for failure.
Right. Your fear is that if your dad isn't there for a little bit, he has to do something with his health and he's not available, and this guy can't be there, all of a sudden you can't get jobs done.
Yeah, and also most of the work, it's getting to a point where I need 1, maybe 2 half days during the week to like sit in the office and do that office work, and then go out and help Kim do field work. But the problem with that is most of it is a two-man job. Like 95% of our work is definitely a two-man job.
Right. So he's not able to do the work until you get there halfway through the day.
Yeah. And guess what? In next month he's going to take a week vacation.
Yeah. I mean, so what you're describing, I don't see any real issue with, only because I think that what you're trying to do is grow the business to a point where you're trying to grow the business to a point where it can support a healthy lifestyle for you. Like, cause I don't like, and I was like this cause Todd knows my dad. He was a workaholic his whole life. Like, and he's retired now. So it's a little bit different. You know, he retired at a younger age. But I talked to him, and I don't want to be a workaholic for 40 years.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
it's not that there's anything bad about that. Like, you know, he was very successful and he did well, and that's great. You know what I mean? But like, that's not what I'm looking for. Like, I want to have a pretty healthy work-life balance my whole life. Like,
oh, that's the other thing. Like, you know, I'm not so upset about working 8 most days.
Right,
but
you're upset about working 5-6 days a week.
Yeah, but I'm a very strong believer in like not doing work I don't have to on the weekend or even after work. Like, there needs to be a hard cutoff time to have that work-life balance, and it's hard to achieve that with the manpower we have.
This is a good group to have this discussion in, because Todd, unfortunately, I would consider you pretty close to a workaholic. Like,
Yeah.
Really?
Todd works like 60+ hour weeks,
Oh, jeez.
right?
Because you choose
Yeah,
to?
that's pretty much 60 to 70 hours a week.
Yeah. So Todd's a good example of, like, Todd is a workaholic, like in the traditional sense of the word. Now, granted, his job offers different freedoms than most jobs do, which makes it a little bit different, right? Like,
Yeah.
so like Todd has downtime depending on like what station he's at or what he's doing, right? You're still in that position where like you switch stations.
Well, like one work I do a solid 70 basically. Then the next week I'll do a solid 70, but 24 of those I can pretty much play video games during.
Yeah. So it's like Todd's in a situation that's a little bit different than like your standard 9 to 5 thing. But Todd still works way more hours than I work, and like that I would want to work, and that's just a personality trait, I think. Like, you know, you have to, the way I always look at it is there isn't a right answer, I don't think, to any questions like this. I think what there is trying to find something that fits what you want. Like, you have to decide what you want out of it and then work to build it towards whatever that is.
Yeah, and I'm thinking I'm getting more and more of a clearer picture, and I'm trying to figure out, like, I think it could do it. I need to learn more about our finances.
If you
Actually.
if you ever get serious about like learning the business side of it, let me know, because I'll send you a shitload of like books and audiobooks that I've read over the years that I found to be really, like, I won't, instead of reading the 60 books that I did and finding the 5 that are decent, I'll just send you the 5 that are decent.
Okay.
Like, well, I mean, it's true though. You know what I mean? Like, when you're reading books just off like, oh, this is new and highly recommended online, half of those books end up being pretty shitty. Like, in context of like, they either talk about things that aren't relevant, or they talk about things that you just like are like, what the fuck is this? But
Yeah.
I'll try to send you a couple that I found.
Yeah, please
useful.
do. I'll look at them, especially the audiobooks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hell, audiobooks you can just listen to at your job.
Oh yeah. Also, do you remember like when I was hiking the AT and I was like sharing with you these startup podcasts I was listening to, and you were like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, Oh, I like this. I think they have a lot of good ideas.
Yeah, which, you know, I mean, if you're going to be taking over larger portions of the business, then getting more, like, business acumen isn't going to hurt you. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah. God.
also, Todd, why are you always on the other team?
What
Yeah, I don't
is
know.
the-
I've been noticing this.
Oh shit! I forgot to back out and.
He left.
Huh?
Kevin left.
I'm surprised he didn't like our conversation.
I mean,
I think it was pretty interesting.
I typically find our conversations to be pretty interesting, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, I don't know. You'll have to, obviously, you have to, it's more something you'll have to sit down with your dad and kind of try to find a common ground with, but...
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're taking over,
Oh.
in which case... What?
I forgot about something.
What?
But
I have a terrible ping, and I just realized why I got a terrible ping.
why is that?
I got my VPN turned on.
Yep, that'll do it.
So I'm actually playing this game from Mexico right now.
Right, from, like, some godforsaken country. Yep.
Is that why your ping is over 300?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, I'm at like 200 megabytes a second right now on my internet. Why am I pinging at like 300? And the ball will disappear every now and then.
Because you're in.
And it just made me realize that I'm in Mexico right
Right,
now.
because Todd's Rocket League packets are making this giant ass round trip down to Mexico and back each time.
So
God damn it, Todd.
I'm gonna
I sent you it.
Exit
I backed out so
main
we could all
menu.
get on the same team at least.
Okay.
let me
Oh,
lock my screen, because that was the appropriate choice. And let's do that.
Yeah, it's gonna disconnect you, right?
It
Yep. There it is. Yeah, Philip, you'll have to tell me later about what's happening. Maybe I'll catch you off here for a couple minutes after.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Hang
Aha.
on though, I gotta change the battery in my headset. It's went dead, and when it goes dead, I can't hear anything.
All right.
All right, I'm done. I'm back.
I don't. So that no one's watching your stream, right, Philip?
It says 0 viewers.
Okay. Yeah, the Kevin kid is kind of like he only ever wants to talk about his girlfriend, and I really just don't want to do that.
I keep trying to tell him like, stop.
I mean, this time I wouldn't exactly call it subtle. You were kind of like, please don't do that.
Well, he keeps bitching about like being heartbroken, and it's like, well, you need to stop talking about her, or you're not gonna get over it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I was just saying, like, it was funny because when you said it, I was like, man, I was just thinking that exact same thing.
Oh shit. Well, you know, there's just some people that I can just be blunt with, and
Oh my God,
I
I
do
have
appreciate
internets.
those people.
Wait, what?
I have internets.
Imagine that.
Also, Ronnie, you might be my favorite person that I have that with.
Aw, I'm not your favorite person.
What? Where you can just be like, shut up.
You're like, I don't like that idea. That's stupid, or whatever. But not but more intellectual than that too.
But see, here's the thing. I would, in my opinion, and this isn't, some people don't agree with this, but for me, I would 100% rather have a friend who's going to be like, when you tell them an idea, is going to be like, nope, that sounds fucking dumb, than for them to just be like, yeah, dude, that sounds awesome.
I remember telling you that many times as you grew up.
Yeah, which is fine. Like, I've always...
It's just like your recent idea, and I kept sending you pictures. I was like, dude, it's everywhere.
Yeah, which
is kind of funny.
But it's better. Like, I would much rather someone be like, that sounds like a bad idea, than for them to be like, no, dude, you should go for that. And then you spend 2 months working on it, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, I thought it was a bad idea the whole time.
Oh shit. Not that your idea was bad. I was just like,
there's a lot of people already doing it.
yeah, and it was nuts because after we talked about it, I guess I, was subconsciously thinking about it, and then I started noticing it.
Yeah, which is great because like the problem, and like you read about this all the time. When you come up with an idea, you get really tunnel vision-y. Like that's why you're supposed to seek people are like outside of you for advice, because they don't have that same tunnel vision you do. Like when you come up with an idea, you're like, oh, this idea is fucking great, but you can't see the flaws because you're too close to it. Like
Yeah, you're
whereas
too
if
emotional.
someone else, yeah, whereas like you saw it and you're like, well, maybe it's not that good, and then like you said, you notice these things and you're like, well, it's gonna be a lot harder than it sounds.
Yeah, and I still think though that it would be, it would really set us apart if the wrapper was biodegradable. Like
Yeah.
that's what I was like. If we had this, we would undoubtedly have something.
Yeah, which I agree. Actually, it's funny because like I'm always coming up with ideas, but I don't typically pass them by anyone until Friday nights, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, what do you think of this thing?
Yeah.
Like the other day, I was thinking about one where I was like, I thought it'd be neat if bottle shops or like breweries could be planning special releases, and like if you're a freak, like say you go to the bottle shop or brewery, you can give them your phone number, like your name and phone number, and then when they're planning releases, they send you a text message with like a link to prepay for like one of their release bottles, so that like you can guarantee your bottle instead of having to wait in line. And like they could do that
they
for
have
half their
that.
stock.
I can send you the website. It's not text though, it's email.
Yeah, I kind of saw the email one. This would be more like you get a text and it has a link that goes right to your PayPal and you can pay right on your phone.
Well, you can reserve and pay on this website. I think it's called Craft Seller or something.
I'll look at it because
I'll have to find it for you.
Yeah,
because it sounds just like that. I hate to do that, Ronnie, but there's a couple of your ideas where I'm like, I saw that.
The thing is though, like I just came up with that like this morning or yesterday, so like I haven't even looked online. You know what I mean? Like it was more like, hey, this would be a cool idea.
I didn't even know it because until like a couple of weeks ago, I started following our local brewery, Creature Comforts Instagram account.
And they probably use it.
Yeah, they use it and they posted it and they're like, hey, we're having a pre-order for the beer. I think I even told you that I pre-ordered some.
Yeah, you did.
And I was like, oh, this is a cool experience. And I did it all online. And they sent me an email. And
saying,
like,
hey,
there was even a timer on the website that was like, this many days, this many hours and minutes. I was like, oh, right.
Yeah.
And then I just get there and I show them the webpage and the guy does a couple of clicks and they bring out my beer and I'm like on my way.
Yeah, which is like, I'm glad you mentioned it because that's pretty much the same thing except through text. So like
text would be more convenient. I don't know if they have that option, but
yeah, and like, that's one of those things where like if they didn't, you could sit down and weigh the like risk and benefit of going the same route, except your competitive advantage is like, hey, we don't force you to use email or like a computer, you can just pay right off your text message.
Or what would be even better but not as good because it would take more development, an app that knew your location when you got to the brewery and it was just on your lock screen and you could easily just tap your reservation from.
Well, so what I was thinking, the second half of this would be, instead of getting a number or an email, you just get a QR code sent right to your text the day you're supposed to pick it up, and they just scan it when you walk up, and it tells them exactly what you ordered.
So I don't know if your phones do this, but I'm sure they do if you took advantage of it. But say, for example, like there are those codes, like for the movie theater is the one that comes up a lot now for me. And also, say if you go to a show, like someone's playing a venue,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to see them. So like the ticket will show up in my Apple Wallet, and it will be on the lock screen when I get there.
Right,
And I just tap it, and it opens it up automatically.
Right, so it's like geolocating, and when you probably once you get a certain distance, it automatically pushes it to your lock screen.
Yeah, and it's just a notification I can tap on, and when they're like ticket, I just tap it, and it turns into a QR code. They scan it and give me a wristband and check my ID, and it's like super convenient.
Yeah, so what you just described, like if you took the pre-sale email system and made a hybrid with the QR code system you just described, that's kind of what I was envisioning, except the other thing is like you could pay right from the text. Like there would be a thing where it was like, you know, it'd say like Creature Comforts is selling blah blah blah, you know what I mean? The same spiel that was on that email, and except it's in a text and it has a link underneath. And it gives you a price, and when you click the link, it just like auto connects to your PayPal or Stripe, where it's like, hey, input your payment information, and like we'll send you a QR code the day you can pick it up.
Yeah. By the way, Apple kind of has this set up. If somebody would just take advantage of it, so they have iMessage for business chat. So it could be something like that, and there's Apple Pay built into iMessage as well, so that takes care of
Like
getting
payment security and
getting
stuff.
getting the code you need to scan to add to your digital wallet, and paying for it all in one go.
Yeah, so like
I'm saying there's a platform for it. I don't know who's utilizing it like that or not, but
yeah, so that's kind of like you're kind of describing just like a better, you know, eventually I think the goal would be to like integrate with Android and Apple Pay, like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But from a basic just like minimum viable product standpoint, it would just be like you get a text after you sign up at like a brewery, and it says like, hey, here's this thing, and then you click, and if you buy, it takes your payment information right from the text, and then whatever, you know what I mean? Like it sends it to the brewery, who it logs into their database, and then when you scan the QR code at their brewery, it's just like, hey, this is dude whatever, and he bought blah.
Yeah, it's paid for. Give him his beer.
Yeah.
Give him this beer, and this much of it. Like, okay.
Right, and I was thinking the other thing is like, you know, obviously a brewery doesn't want to sell 100% of their stock that way, because that like alienates people who want to come to the brewery. But at the same time, it'd be
well,
cool.
they have, you know, like stock for draft, so it is available. They have product, and then they have
Draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe that's the case too. I don't know. It seemed like a cool idea, and then the app probably just like has a monthly fee where it's like, hey, you know, you get this many text messages a month for X number of dollars, like a software as a service type thing.
Or a licensing royalty.
Well, or that, or you say like, you know, we take 4% of your like sale price or something. Like, so all sales made through this are charged X%.
Or you take small X% too of the payment processing.
Yeah. So like,
or something like that.
I don't know. Overall, it seemed like a pretty simple idea. Like realistically, you could probably get a minimum version of that up in like a few weeks, I would guess. Just because there's not that much functionality. Like, you're just kind of tapping into existing functionality and forcing it to work a certain way.
Yeah, which, you know, simple is good, you know.
Well,
we don't need a lot of chaff. That's what's good about Steam, Ronnie.
Oh god.
Sorry, I had to.
That's fair. That's fair.
We just want something that works, that isn't intrusive.
Well, that was the big thing, is like a lot of people, or a lot of things that I read say like, people on average don't really like, they don't like email, they don't like websites, because a lot of people do 90% of their interactions on the phone now. Like, there's a lot of people who just don't really use a computer. They just use a cell phone. Like, that's how they browse the internet and use apps.
Well, that's what they say. Any major business innovation going forward is pretty much going to be mobile.
Right, that's why I was like, the business is going to use a desktop computer. Like, when they need to format their text and put everything together and create their offer, like, they're doing that shit from a laptop or a computer.
Well, yeah.
So their end's a web app. It's a software thing where it's like they go to the website and they log into their account.
This was the other note I would like to make, and that is, if it gets so evolved, like, I don't think it ever should become an app that someone has to download. It should just be a web app.
Yeah, so
just go to a website or whatever.
Yeah, the future goal wouldn't be to like do anything with consumers. The future goals that I thought for it, like, say it took off, right, and you had development cash.
Yeah.
You turn it into like a brewery management system where you can manage all kinds of brewery stuff, like, you can manage your ingredients and you can manage your draft like stuff, and it does data collection and aggregation. Like, it wouldn't be the whole selling to people through the app thing is just because I think it's a very simple thing to implement that has potential to make money, like, which you need to do all the other stuff.
Yeah.
But
you damn, Ronnie, I feel like you would love to work at Google. You and your data mining.
I mean, unfortunately, I think the future of almost everything is like, it's just data and mobile. It's like, those are the things that people love
and foldable
now.
Phones.
Oh yeah,
because physics.
Just don't take the screen protector off.
Yeah.
Or don't fold it ever, because that's bad too.
Actually, you know what? I
feel like someone on the QA team dropped the ball.
I really don't want a foldable phone, to be totally honest.
You know why I like them? Not the way they're doing them. I want them to fold like a book, where the screen's on the inside.
And it's protected on the outside.
It's protected from itself. Maybe a small exterior screen for little tasks.
Right, but the outside's like fucking something indestructible, where like I can literally throw my phone around and it's fine.
Yeah, that's why I really like the foldable phone idea.
I could see that.
You're basically going back to the flip phone concept. Why did we buy flip phones? Not because they were better than the stand-up phones, but because
they were indestructible.
Yeah, the screen was on the inside.
That's a good point. There was actually a meme for that too, Todd. I don't know if you saw it, but it's like Samsung is like invents the foldable phone, and then they show like a super classic flip phone, and it's this black guy, and he's like, "Am I a joke to you?" That meme, and it was literally that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of true though. Like, people are like, "Oh, flip phones," but in reality, fucking flip phones have been around since like 1994.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see them because of the same reason I'm excited for original flip phones, to protect my screen on the inside of the phone in my pocket.
I can wholeheartedly say that the one upside to old phones is that those things were fucking tanky. Like, you could drop, back when it was like, what the hell was that one? The fucking T-Mobile something. It was the big phone for a while.
T-Mobile.
The Razor?
No, it was before.
Was T-Mobile even a brand back then?
Sidekick.
I don't think I know the Sidekick.
Yeah, so the Sidekick was like this foldable fucking monstrosity.
Oh, talking about exclusives, they used to have phone exclusives.
Yeah.
I mean, the iPhone was an AT&T exclusive for 4 years.
Time. Yeah. Well, the Sidekick was a fucking T-Mobile exclusive.
God, I hated those days. Fucking cell phone exclusive shit. I would have had an iPhone way earlier.
If it wasn't if it wasn't
Yeah.
AT&T. Yeah.
I had to wait so long.
Yeah, I remember that because we can't get AT&T out here for the longest time at the cell service.
No, I mean I was gonna say where we grew up, Verizon's the only one that works.
And Verizon has not handled exclusives well at all.
No.
We're just not going to do them. That's their answer.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's like, but you guys are the only one that work, and you have 4 phones. You have
but
4 phones. Like it's not even exclusive at this point. There's
you know
crap
what?
phones. Just bring them on board.
But you know
I
what?
want anything.
Verizon, you know what Verizon's logic was? Verizon was like, you know what? If you want to talk on a fucking cell phone, you'll buy one of the 4.
Yeah, that
You
was
know what?
100%.
In this scenario, Verizon is Steam and AT&T is Epic with their exclusives. With the shittier service. You know I'm right.
Oh my god.
Verizon just blows my mind though. Like they don't get anything. Like they won't even try.
I mean, dude, that's because, holy shit, what doesn't Verizon own at this point?
Well, their system's archaic. That's why.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what business hasn't Verizon bought?
Any phone manufacturer, apparently. That's
fine.
number 1.
But, like, I feel like every time I fucking open up TechCrunch, it's just like, Verizon acquired this fucking $3 billion thing. And I'm like, where did Verizon get another $3 billion?
Well,
And then I'm like, oh yeah, because they're charging me $100 a month for phone service.
yeah, it is ridiculous. And they got a monopoly because everyone else is like, meh, who wants to put cell service out there?
Yeah.
Like to this day, I can't get anything but Verizon. Where we work, it's useless.
Well, I was gonna say, where I live now, I can get I can at least get AT&T, I know. So, like, when my Verizon contract is up, I will probably get AT&T.
But why?
Yeah, like
Cheaper?
It's a
so.
lot cheaper.
So AT&T put out this thing called FirstNet for first responders. Like we can get cell service for like a quarter of the price. We get like priority. Like if me and you are on the phone and it's an emergency and the phone lines are full, I'll kick you off the phone to make my phone call.
Right.
Like there's a lot of huge perks to it. And they're like, oh, we got this. It's amazing. And we're like, the sales guy was there. We're like, oh, hold up here. We drove him out to our Hunlock station. And we're like, how good is it now? He's like, where are we? Why does nothing work?
where am I?
I'm gonna just keep
my
scoring here, boys.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I got all 5 goals.
Okay, that was clearly a score steal right there.
Look at Todd's ping. That's what I'm more impressed with.
Yeah, slight
true,
improvement.
True.
That's like 1,000% better. How are you even playing before?
Yeah,
I would have just
I don't
thrown
know.
the
Well, it's
computer
Rocket League.
away.
You play this on a potato and do okay.
Yeah, but at 300 millisecond ping, I feel like I would never hit the ball.
Like, and you scored a few times.
Yeah. That's called being a pro.
I
That's
feel
That's
like I was-
foresight right there. That's,
right,
seeing,
like,
that's
Todd-
seeing the whole picture.
Right, Todd can't go where the ball is. Todd has to go where the ball's going.
Yeah. You can't block me when I touch the ball and it disappears for 5 seconds.
Oh my god.
I'm picturing Todd, like, in the fucking Karate Kid. It's like, oh, wax on. Oh my god.
Oh my god, indeed.
Well
Oh,
done.
but bank it, baby. Holy shit,
These
I gotta
kids
pee
are-
right quick.
Oh man. What about you, Todd? How's everything been for you, man?
Oh, what were we asking?
I said, how's everything been for you?
It's been pretty good.
Alright, I'm playing Forger now.
What?
It's halfway through the night. I'm playing Forager now.
It's halfway through the night? Oh, what the heck, man. But we were playing... Oh, God, cat. Why do you smell like laundry detergent? Where were you?
Oh, God.
Do you want to keep playing this?
We could.
I was gonna
I'm
say,
thinking if we're gonna keep the conversation going, we probably ought to, because there's not much else.
Well, what's our other options here?
Well, I was gonna say,
yes.
I'm not leaving the chat or anything. I'm just, you know, hanging out while I...
Yeah, and I just want to continue playing something that allows me to do that at a capacity, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
That would just, you know, be us actually interacting.
Right, instead of like, not to sound rude, but for a while now we've kind of just been like we play, but everyone just plays. Like pretty much no one actually talks to each other.
Well, we were doing good on Borderlands, but someone that wanted to level up with us and ruined it.
Not gonna lie, I never imagined that the leveling would be that atrocious.
You didn't remember that?
No.
The whole nerfing when you're low... Cat, what are you doing?
No, but I remembered it once we started playing. I was like, holy shit, man. The game is actually actively, like...
Yeah.
You remember, because they gave you the XP buff for being a lower level, but they punished you by giving you the damage buff. Or damage nerf.
Yeah, because, well, when I shot the guy and did 4 damage, I was just like, what? Like, what the fuck is this?
Right, which isn't very fun, but, you know, if we do want to do Borderlands again, like, we'd either just join on you, or if you just want to play a little bit to get your character up to, like, level 14.
But we gotta do your quests that are your level.
I think
we would...
Sorry, I was gonna say, I think I'll do what Philip said before we play again. I'll just play for an afternoon and just get to the same level. That way we can all just play together.
Because I think it would be it's a great Friday game if we're just going to be gaming, you know?
Yeah.
And, which, you know, I do really like Fridays like this and kind of miss them, and we definitely aren't really have a balance on them.
Yeah,
at the moment.
I was gonna say, we've kind of headed squarely into like for a while we were just like playing games that required pretty much 100% of like your attention to do.
Yeah, and we should try to balance it more. You know, like there's been too many, like when Ben was here, I felt like it was maybe even too much
Of this.
And not enough of, hey, let's just work together on this game and like have fun.
Try to beat it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. There's
like there needs to be a good mix.
There needs to be a balance, yeah. Because if you do the whole like gaming every single week, I feel like I got to a point where I just kind of burned out, where I was like, I just want to do nothing on Friday. Like, I don't want to have to pay attention the whole time.
Yeah, but, and I was feeling that too, and I noticed like you were doing it too, because like one, like you'd be excited about a game, and then Friday would come around and you didn't want to play it anymore.
Yeah,
or you'd be asleep and miss it completely, and that's why your level is so low right now.
Yeah, well, a huge part of that honestly was like, you know, I'd go to work during the week and I'd be like, yeah, this would be awesome on Friday, and then by Friday I was like, man, I just want to fucking like play something brain dead. Like, I just want to play something that doesn't require me to actually think.
Yeah.
But, which is, like you said, it's better if you're doing them in moderation, where you're playing sometimes where you pay attention, but other times, you know, you play Borderlands, where, like, you actually have to play Borderlands.
Yeah. God, yeah. For a minute, like, I was almost like, kind of don't want to do game night, because I'm just like, it's the end of the week. It's been a long week. Yes. I just want to watch anime, maybe and even
beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the one or two of the nights where like I fell asleep I was just be like laying in bed, and I would be like, you know, I wouldn't be trying to fall asleep or anything, but I also wouldn't be like actively fighting it. Whereas like when every Friday night was like something I was like, yeah, I can't wait to do that. Like I would actively fight falling asleep.
Oh yeah.
But it's better now. Like honestly, I think I just needed like a week to just like this was a good week to just fucking play something easy.
Oh, I agree.
And like I don't really know why we got so into like playing every week. I don't really know when that happened, to be honest.
Well, I think it was. See, it's kind of hard to have this kind of conversation with the amount of pool we had there for a couple of months.
That's true.
And I think
Yeah.
that's what did it. And that really shifted our expectations for Friday night game night. Just because that's what, you know, majority rule. Whether you like it or not or believe in that, like,
That's how it is.
it's just how it is.
Yeah.
Especially in peer groups.
Yeah, which as much as like I like Joshua's a good example of he likes to take full advantage of like his game time. Whereas like for me, if we play a game and don't fucking accomplish anything, I don't care. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like,
yeah, but the conversation is rewarding, and the game is kind of secondary to that, and in that
context.
scenario. In this
Yes.
scenario.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree. Whereas like nothing against that. Like there's nothing wrong with being all about
Oh, I mean,
like-
Joshua knows. Like, he is like super passionate about video games. In fact, so much so that when you are trying to talk to him about something else that's important, he will somehow always
end
bring
up
it
at
back.
video games.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And you're
Even
like,
though-
well, okay, well, I wasn't quite done talking about this other thing, but okay.
I want to say that's hilarious, but I also feel like it would drive me fucking completely batty. I would be like, no, we are not talking about this yet. Like, we are not done.
I'm not finished. Listen to me. Listen to what I have to say.
Oh, man. Yeah, like, for me, video games have become less, like, about anything and more just about, like, I worked all week and I kind of just want to, like, play something relaxing. Or not relaxing, but, like, I just want to play something fun.
Yeah. And you know, like, you guys are, I think, probably the veterans of the group. So, you know, and especially because no one else really responds during the week.
Yeah.
And when we're reaching out for feedback, you know, trying to figure out what the Friday is going to shape into. Really, like, y'all's thing.
Which, I'm not gonna lie, I find it super funny that people can't just, like, respond on Discord when I know they all saw the Discord. Like,
Oh, you know it. They got the app on their phone
right, and I'm
or
just
whatever.
I'm like, wait, so it would have taken you, like, literal 5 seconds to write up a response to that, like, and you had all week to find that 5 seconds. Like,
Yeah. I mean that's why I'm good at replying because it's like, oh, I see the notification in. I mean, and like I'm gonna take just a little bit of time and write something real quick back. Like most of the times I'm not super detailed with what I'm saying, but I feel like
You're at
my
least
point gets
responding.
across anyways.
yeah.
And what's more important, I think, is presence in that aspect.
Yeah, like, Todd's kind of the same way. Like, most of the times I talk to Todd, I'll talk to him for, like, a few minutes, but then he'll go offline, and I know that's because, like, he's responding while he's, like, at work or something. Like,
Sure.
I'm assuming, right, Todd?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's basically a text messages, in all honesty.
Well, yeah, and I was gonna say, like, most of the time when I talk to you, like, you talk for 5 minutes, and then you'll get offline, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, he must have had to go do something. You know what I mean? Like, work or whatever. Same with you, Philip. Like, I can tell when you're at work because you'll respond and then, like, you'll go offline. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he's, like, somewhere at work.
Yeah,
Like,
I do that.
yeah, but, I mean, that makes sense. And, like, that's totally reasonable. I don't know.
Yeah, you come active, like, usually about an hour and a half before, like, I can get off, so.
Well, I think that's because that's when I get off work, so it's just like,
Yeah.
that happens to be the time I hop on my computer and I'm like, let's see what everyone's saying. But then I'm like, oh, never mind, it's literally just Philip and Todd talking. Like,
Oh, yeah. And me sharing memes.
yeah.
At this point, which feels like I'm just saving them for myself because no one shares any there. Really.
I look at your memes.
Oh, thanks,
do-
Todd.
I do look at them, like, I do try to at least look at your memes some, because, like, some of them are really fucking funny. Also, did you watch the new Black Clover this week?
No, I've been hard into JoJo Bizarre Adventure.
Okay, so I didn't get to episode 3, but that's mostly just because I've fallen behind. Like, I'm still an episode behind on Shield Hero right now, so.
I did watch that with Peter and One Punch Man.
So, don't spoil it, but were they both good?
The One Punch Man episode was really good. The Shield Hero episode had, like, the first half was exposition, and then it got really interesting after that.
Okay. I mean, I can deal with that.
And next week on Shield Hero will probably be really good. Actually, both One Punch Man and Shield Hero next week are going to be fucking awesome, I think.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward. Like, Shield Hero is going in a direction that I can get behind, so I'm pretty excited about, like,
Yeah.
what's happening.
Honestly, the first 4 episodes of Shield Hero were the best.
Yeah,
So
I
far.
would agree with
Like,
that.
by almost a long shot, I would even say.
Yeah, well, Shield Hero fucking got me, like, I watched the first 2 episodes and I was already, like, I was in on the rest of the series. I was like, okay, you know, like, the first 2 episodes were so good that I'm already committed to finishing this.
Yeah, in fact, it wasn't just one for me, it was the first 4. I was like, like, back to back. It just couldn't stop.
Yeah, which...
In the first
makes-
episode is like 2 episodes. It's like 45 minutes.
Which I actually loved, and I really, really wish other, like, things would do that. Because that was super convenient.
Oh, to have it that long?
Well, yeah, to have the first episode...
What do you mean?
not-
Explain that.
Like, to have the first episode not feel like I watched half of it, got into the series, and then got cliffhangered. Like,
Oh, I see. Like, it was more of a complete thing.
it was like a, hey, here's what you're gonna get with the series, and we're actually gonna give you enough substance to make a real decision. Like,
Right, yeah, it wasn't a half-baked episode. It was like, here's the story, middle, and this is now going to be the rest of the show. If you don't like
Yeah.
it pretty much set it up to, like, if you're not interested after this one, this
you're
isn't your
probably not
anime.
gonna be interested.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was great, because it was like, you know, it was kind of nice to feel like I knew what I was going to get.
Yeah, and it didn't feel that long to me.
No, I would agree. I don't think it felt that long.
I don't know if that was because of, like, how well it held my interest or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably at least part of it, but I don't know. Overall, first of all, the concept for the series was really good. So like, I definitely liked the concept from the very beginning. I was like, oh, okay, you know, it's a.
I've definitely seen it before, but they presented it in a really interesting way. And
yeah,
that was it for me.
yeah, and like when I watched Black Clover, I realized that there's nothing new in Black Clover. Like Black Clover is a pretty typical.
Yeah, well,
I mean, there's like
it's a shonen.
It's a shonen, yeah.
When you have Naruto and Dragon Ball Z and stuff that predates it, you know, this
Right, you
kind of like
what
big
you're
shoes to One Piece too, you know.
Oh god, the series that I wish I could do, but I literally just can't commit that kind of time.
Me too. That's
Like,
why I'm
I
reading
really-
Naruto.
Yeah,
Like, it would be way faster.
I really want to watch One Piece because I feel like it's almost like a seminal anime where like you should watch it if you consider yourself an anime fan, but at the same time I'm just like, holy fuck, man. Like
I don't think it has that prerequisite tied to it. I mean, it's just like,
I think it's too long to have that. Like it's
if
Actually-
anything, it's a statement of your tenure as an anime fan. It's like, oh, I was into anime when this was going on, and that's why
yeah. If you
I'm
kept up
even
with
caught up with it because I've been with it since the beginning.
yeah, I guess that's true. Actually, you know what anime, now that I think about it, would be what I would consider like a seminal, you have to watch it to be considered an anime fan? You have to watch Cowboy Bebop. Like,
No,
I love
I was just
Cowboy
gonna say,
Bebop.
you motherfucker, don't say Cowboy Bebop.
you have to. Like, I feel
And I
like-
did, and
I did too.
it wasn't that great.
I didn't think it was that good either, but
But
I
still,
think
you have to watch it for some
you
reason.
have to watch it. Yeah, I almost feel like if you walk into a group of people and you're like, yeah, I'm an anime fan.
I liked
Cowboy-
Cowboy Bebop,
I
but
I-
I also watched it when it was like the first real dub.
yeah,
The dub
by
was good,
comparison,
though.
but I mean, you know what I mean. But by comparison, like I didn't even know what the Japanese language was when that show came out.
Right, like your bar for anime was probably so fucking
Yeah,
low.
and that was just amazing.
Yeah, well, see, I didn't start with it. It was actually pretty late in the game for me when I watched Cowboy Bebop, and I had to force myself to finish it, just because like so many people
That's any
are
old
like,
anime, really. Like
well, nah, I mean,
anime does not age well. Let's be honest. It's
well, because the
lot of-
style and the tropes change.
yeah,
so
there's a
much.
lot
Yeah.
based on the animation, so it just doesn't.
like a
which I'm
good
not as
exam-
picky about, but
No, but you know what kind of anime
good
is
example of what?
like Dragon Ball Z is an anime that was super popular, but like it's I mean, like it aged okay, but it didn't age well. Like, you know, when you watch old Dragon Ball now, you're not like, "Oh yeah, this stands up to the test of time." You're like, "Oh yeah, this is okay." But like
The thing that bothered me with Dragon Ball Z, like that's what I grew up with, and they had so many remakes of it at this point, and they're all just the original in a different frame.
yeah.
Oh, like Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Yeah, like why can't we just actually remake it and be like, oh, best thing ever invented since, you know, like bananas.
Yeah. Banana. Alright.
I watched Dragon Ball Z back when you and Joel were watching it, and it was really good at the time.
Yeah, like
And
it was really good
Yeah,
when it
in
started.
5th grade, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was fucking great. Like,
I was like
kinda
trying
wish-
to turn Super Saiyan every time I took a shit. It was
yeah.
Like, if they would have just took like Dragon Ball Kai and literally redone the series up to the Frieza saga, that would have been phenomenal.
like redrew it and everything.
Yeah, like brand new everything. Like just go balls deep.
And
They had the money.
updated the script too.
Although
and
Toriyama
the
would have
pacing.
forgot half the basic concepts of the show.
I mean, I think the biggest problem it has is the pacing. And like that was the whole thing about Kai. It was like fixing that.
Well,
yeah, like battles that took fucking 7 episodes.
It's
to
like
happen.
5 minutes
Goku
later.
versus Frieza
5
battle still
episodes
holds-
later.
It still holds the record for the longest anime battle ever.
Dude,
I don't know if you knew that or not. I learned that the other day.
I knew it had the record. I didn't know it still held
Yeah,
it
it's still the longest anime battle. I think it's 4 hours, a little over 4 hours.
and that's actual runtime.
That's actual. If you were to put one episode and take all the, just the battle, it's 4 hours.
Of them like hitting each other, or the stare downs too.
Well, I'm
in
sure
the
the stare downs
in the
are in there.
monologues.
Oh, dude, the monologues. Some of those monologues felt like they were never gonna end. Like, God. Don't get me wrong. Again, like Dragon Ball Z was one of those shows where I can't hold anything against it because
No,
like,
because honestly, the whole, the short seasons and all that stuff, that didn't exist back then.
well, plus for
You-
its time, Dragon Ball Z was fucking really good.
I mean, Dragon Ball Z was, like competing with like Friends, like when it came out
In the U.S., yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
in the U.S. and even in Japan, like there wasn't like the small. Like it didn't exist. Like it was making the market.
Yeah. Oh god, that's hilarious. I mean,
It's not something I would recommend though. It's like, so Dragon Ball Z is very like, you grew up with it, you appreciate it, or you miss the boat and
It is.
you probably
It's-
shouldn't watch it.
I mean,
because-
even Super. Super is very hard for me to recommend to people.
But I watched every episode in all the movies just because
I did too, and it's amazing for me. But like to just jump into Super is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
Because
but
first of all, you're lost. It literally just starts out. Where's the end?
You
As
miss
a brand
so
new
much.
anime. Just like, just gonna start here.
Yeah, it's not really set up that way, and I don't think it's meant to. I think it was more like an ode to the fans, like y'all really love Dragon Ball Z.
an ode to the fan doesn't last 100 episodes, though.
y'all really like Dragon Ball Z.
The 3 movie series would have been an ode to the fans.
God, dude, Dragon Ball is one of those shows that just like they're gonna remake that thing until people stop watching it.
They've already
Well,
confirmed
and
they're gonna
that-
extend Super.
Yeah, and that's not gonna happen until like this whole generation like dies off. We're like, y'all are making money and breathing still and love Dragon Ball Z, so we're gonna beat that horse because it ain't dead, baby.
Oh yeah, that show is gonna go down in history.
It's fucking accurate though. Like it's not untrue to think that like we're still gonna have fucking Dragon Ball coming out in like 10 years. It's gonna be like Dragon Ball Super Kai 7. And
Hell
people
yeah,
are
I'm gonna
still
be fucking
And the new
68
fans
years
are
old
gonna
watching
be so
Japanese
lost.
cartoons.
On what they're supposed to be watching.
I mean, unfortunately, like I want to say that I'm kidding, but I feel like this could very well happen.
Yeah,
Did you watch
Can you
Super,
imagine
Ronnie?
trying to recap on the Dragon Ball Z
Did I watch
series?
Super? No.
Yeah.
No.
The
Just-
Tournament
just-
of Power arc was really good, actually.
It.
The second half
I
of
want to
it.
love it. I want to love it, but like
Well,
being
never
an
mind, the
actual
last
Dragon
third
Ball
of
fan
it.
who understands how power levels remotely work,
They don't work.
it's rough. It's
They're
rough.
just how cool the transformation looks.
that like. Like you retconned a lot of power levels throughout that thing, and that tournament.
But that's what
of power
Toriyama does. He has no continuity.
I
at
mean,
all.
Krillin went from a police that got shot in the knee and was almost dead to fighting Super Saiyan God level. Like that's a bit much. That's a bit much.
Also, I do hate like God. Like I felt like God Key had the power. Stupid pun. But like had the potential for it to be like so like top tier, and they were like, oh, here's a bunch of new guys that don't
Okay, they
even
canceled
fucking
out God the next battle by making Super Saiyan Blue.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, they're like, oh, and here's a bunch of guys that don't even scoff at your Super Saiyan Blue transformation. They're like,
the only thing is
I don't even fucking
Master
care.
Roshi. in the Tournament of Power
Oh man,
was worth that whole series. That was an
he was
fans
legend
right there.
he that was pretty dope.
I actually have a poster on my wall right now of the speech he gave.
Oh
Do
really?
you really?
Yes, because that was epic.
I don't know this. I don't remember the speech.
Remember when he was going to sacrifice himself and he went balls to the wall and everyone was like, oh god, Master Roshi's going to murder people.
Vaguely.
Oh my god, like best part of the whole series.
To me, it was when Jiren was gonna blow up everybody in the stands and Goku gets serious for a minute.
Also, Goku started the whole like invincible main character problem. Like Goku's single-handedly responsible for the invincible main character. Like
Yeah, but he actually loses a whole lot and gets the shit beaten out of him.
He
That's true, but he
doesn't
always
truly
comes
lose though. Like, it's very predictable. Like, oh, it's the first battle. Goku is going against a minion. Well, he's probably gonna get whooped here because this ain't how anime works.
but
Also,
then
his character's like, I'll fight anybody, and I'm gonna lose like 90% of the battle, and then I'm gonna just go like use my actual power and kind of win, maybe.
do you
Well,
feel
do you ever watch the theories that Goku is the ultimate bad guy of the whole series? And if it wasn't for him, like nobody would have died, Earth would have been fine, and nothing tragic would have ever happened ever.
But that's totally true.
It is. And like everything that may have been out of their control, he just made worse.
Let's see, like maybe the Buu saga?
No, because they pretty much released Boo.
With their energy, right?
Yeah. So, like, Boo would have never been able to been...
Well, I'm just saying as far as
Released.
Bibbidi's, like, motivation for doing it, like, it was out of the realm of Goku. I think.
was. Like, the Boo saga, maybe.
Like, I think Boo would have been released inevitably.
But you gotta think, Raditz would have never been there. That means Vegeta would have never been there. Which means they would have never met Dynamic, they met Frieza. Which means Frieza would never came to Earth. Which means Goku would never fought the Red and Arbor, would have never made the androids, would have never made Cell.
Oh my god!
And they would have never had a power level. So Boo would have never been released. And the series would have been Yamcha just playing baseball. And that would have been it.
And Krillin being a police officer.
Yeah, that would have been the whole show.
And probably single, because... You know what? Because those androids were made, he got a family.
He did. Actually, he would have been a peaceful monk serving his monkhood. And living a fulfilling life.
Or he would have surpassed Roshi
when he ended
and...
up homeless and had become a cop.
No, actually, he probably just would have turned into the new Roshi.
Yeah, he would have been new Master Roshi. That's what he would have been.
Yeah. Like 100%. Like an old, horny man that never settled down because of his training or whatever.
Well, actually, Master Roshi would have never left because he wouldn't have died.
God, this is like the most.
Because Master
meta.
Roshi can only die in battle. He cannot die to old age.
Oh yeah, because he drinks like
Yeah, he drinks those
the elixir or
seeds
whatever, like
or whatever.
every 300 years or something.
So, without Goku, no villains would have came that could have killed him. And there you go.
That was just like the most meta description of fucking Dragon Ball Z ever. Like,
Goku's the bad guy.
Yeah, like I felt like I was listening to like, you know, a podcast where someone's like, "Let me tell you 7 we have to go through to make Goku that guy in the show."
This has definitely turned into an anime podcast all of a sudden.
The alternative would have been King Piccolo would have been there. He would have been evil dictator over Earth, and Piccolo would have taken over. And he eventually learned to be the savior of Earth, and he actually did good things for people and fought to defend everybody. And everything would have worked out for everybody.
Yeah, and they wouldn't have to like face like solar system level threats.
Yes.
Right. They wouldn't
Because
have to face off
Goku.
with people who just like fucking blow giant mountains out of the way with like one attack.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? The moon, I don't like it. It's gone. You know what? Your fucking solar system, let me power up and shoot this big fucking bang attack. It's gone. How about that? Also, I think they're a little self-aware of this because in Super, remember Todd? Like everybody at the Tournament of Power, it was like super mad at Goku.
Yeah, because he was the reason for it.
Yeah,
Every universe
but
was living in peace with nothing wrong happening. He's like, oh, let's all put our lives on the line where one person lives.
well, the argument is that if he didn't tell Xenos about the Tournament of Power or wanting to do it, that everybody just would have been erased
Some would have been
painlessly.
erased. Never would have known
Anyways.
it, like natural selection.
Yeah, it's just been one day
And-
just gone. It didn't matter.
The survival of the fittest would have been at its finest.
Oh well, yeah, like literally, because the average mortal level, you know, I think that's how they were selecting which universe got erased or not, or that's how they ranked the gods and angels performance
Yeah.
on. Turns out you didn't do anything to raise the mortal level. Your universe is weak as shit.
Yep.
God. I haven't like heard this much talk about Dragon Ball Z in such a long time.
Well, you know, Chris Schimmel, the guy that voices the Goku in English, his thinking is, and I believe this too, like the reason that Dragon Ball has such staying power is because of what it's based on. And it's this old, like, you know, the Journey to the East. And there's just something about those old ancient tales that have, you know, such a like subconscious draw to the population. And it just kind of disguises itself.
Yeah, and I mean, really, it
You
was
know,
the
as
first
something
shonen
else.
anime too, where
To really
like the whole endless power level thing was kind of new and cool.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Like
By the time,
Go ahead.
but by the time like Bleach and Naruto and all them came around, like it was just worn out. Like everyone like, yep, he's just gonna get extra strong, and that's what they did every time. New mode, new transformation. Here we
Yeah.
go.
I was gonna say, like, I think the first anime that I truly watched was Bleach. Like, I watched Dragon Ball Z, but the one that I got into was Bleach, and I remember feeling that way about it at times, where I was just like, oh, you know, like, Ichigo's dying, but I don't have to worry about it, because, like, at some point during this battle, he's just gonna turn into something that he wasn't before, and then he'll
I
just
think-
kill everyone.
The one thing that made Dragon Ball Z great is that Goku was that person, but he wasn't really that active in the show.
Yeah, like, the whole show wasn't based on him.
Yeah, like he was definitely the main character. He was definitely the good, you know what I mean? Like, but he was most of the stuff, most of the fights, the action scenes, it weren't about him. He wasn't in them, so he had no idea.
Hell, yeah, I guess you're right. Cause, well, also, like, all the other characters are so well done and fleshed out. Like, I'm sure there might even be more Vegeta fans than Goku fans.
Yeah, like, I mean, Vegeta, Piccolo, like, those two have fought more battles than Goku has.
Or Broly. Not bad, but, like, there's definitely Broly fans. Or Frieza. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of Frieza fans, but I mean, like, the whole Namek arc is considered the best arc in the series, and Goku was there for the very end of it.
yeah, he showed up.
But you know what I mean? So like that whole arc, you had no idea who would win battles, and it actually went like that. Battles were won by both sides. Both sides had people die.
Yeah.
Right, it wasn't just Goku kills everyone.
Yeah, and then, I mean, obviously Goku showed up and eventually killed everybody by just endlessly powering up and unlocking new modes.
Oh yeah, but before that happened, he lost his body to Captain Ginyu.
Right, so it was almost like there was a chance that he might actually not just, like, overpower everyone in the end.
Or wait, or was that why he was healing? That might have happened before. I can't remember.
No, he was healing from the Captain Ginyu fight, because he fought the Ginyu Force first.
Okay.
Then he healed up to get the power up to beat Frieza.
And then Krillin had to die so he would unlock Legendary Super Saiyan.
Yes. I'm upside down.
Which is funny why Super Saiyan became a thing is because Toriyama was tired of drawing in all his black hair and it was getting expensive.
Really?
Yeah. So he made him
Toriyama
blonde.
has like some of the best stories of like what not to do when making an anime. And he made quite possibly one of the most famous ones of all time.
That's fucking hilarious.
I just love when he's like, well, why'd Saiyans not have tails anymore? And he's like, oh, I forgot they existed.
He was like, oh, I forgot.
Or like Trunks, like why is Trunks' hair now blue or purple in this series? I'm like, oh, I thought it was always blue or purple. Like no, it was clearly a different color.
Yeah, what's your hair color? Blue or purple?
Like literally, all
That's
he had
your
to do was
answer.
flip back in his episode log, like 10 episodes, and go, yep, it was blue. But he did it, and he just went, nah, I think it was always purple. Like that was how the whole series was made. Like Launch, when the main characters of Dragon Ball disappeared.
Oh yeah,
the
he
little example was
forgot.
like, I just forgot he was in the series.
Man, and Launch was cool.
See, like, that shit's hilarious. Like,
They should bring Launch back in Super.
I think they were kind of, well, they did. They didn't bring it. They brought What's Your Name back from the Trunks saga.
They brought Mai
Yeah,
and Pilaf and
yeah.
do a barrel roll. Fox back. I forget his name. He's wholesome though. He's pretty wholesome for working with Pilaf.
It's just funny, like hearing stuff from people who watch Dragon Ball Z from the beginning.
Like that's that adds to the show. Like, as terrible as Toriyama was as a writer for that show, like at this point, it adds to it. Like, what other series can you say that to?
Well, that's like that's like people say that about the original Resident. They're like, if you ever actually go back and play the original. And just like
Resident Evil?
Yeah, and just like listen to the dialogue from the very first one. The best description I ever saw was someone was like, listening to the dialogue in the first Resident Evil is like someone who spoke Japanese, translated to Swahili, gave it to a deaf guy to translate again, and then like a native English speaker took that and turned it into the dialogue. Because it's so bad. Like if you go back and listen to it, it's just like they'll be like, let's do this thing, but like all the way they say the words is wrong and the way it's pronounced is wrong and like the emphasis is all wrong. It's fucking awful.
But English voice actors did it?
Yeah,
Why is it so terrible?
because they were given the script by Japanese writers, and the Japanese writers at the studio at the time like didn't know English for shit. So like everything, it sounds stupid. Like it
Yeah,
sounds
but
like
somebody should have taken over and been like, just give us a general idea of what's going on, and like we'll fill in the gaps. Let's get some writers in here and write something. Like we can't push this. This is terrible.
I mean, you would think, but
I do. Why did they do that?
But that is not the way it panned out. And like, if you ever go back, it's gonna be like, how did I miss this the first time around?
I didn't actually play it. I still haven't beaten the 2 remake.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if
I played 4 or 5, and I started 6 with Peter.
One day, if you ever get a chance, go back and play it, because you're just gonna be like, shit, it's so bad.
Is it on Steam?
I'm sure it's on Steam.
Because it sounds so bad that it would just be fun to do.
Yeah. Like, I feel like you'd probably get a good kick out of it. To just be like, wow, like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna look right quick, I think.
God, everything in my, like,
Oh,
world
7's on sale.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually wouldn't mind playing 7. I heard really good things about it.
I want
I
to
heard
play
it's
it
actually
too.
scary.
That's also what I heard. So Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City.
Yeah, I think that's the original.
Is this the first one?
Well, it should just be Resident Evil, but they might have given it like a name just because.
Here's Resident Evil 0.
Zero might have been a remake, actually.
Here's Resident Evil.
Yes, Resident Evil. That's what you're looking for. Just the fucking plain Jane Resident Evil.
The game that defined the survival horror genre
Yes.
is back. Check out the remastered HD version of Resident
Okay, so I don't know if they would have changed the dialogue in the remastered, so make sure you look for that if you're like looking for the fucking original.
I want the fucking original.
I want to listen to the fucking like derpy ass voice acting.
Give me the derp. Soundtrack, atmosphere, no door loading screens mod.
Okay, I mean that's fine. Like you probably really door like
The HD remaster is really appreciated and well made. The game shows the age with the gameplay and cameras that now feel outdated, but it's part of the charm and why it's so fun to play even in 2019. I liked everything in this gym. So glad I can play it on Steam. I never finished on this on PS1, so this was a good chance for me, and I had so much fun.
I mean, to me, that sounds like they probably kept the dialogue, because it sounds like they pretty much just kept the game as is and just optimized the loading screen.
I'll have to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to buy it for that, definitely make sure you're going to get what you, like, want. You know what I mean?
Yes.